Welcome to the pronoun section of the SAT video. We're looking at the writing rule pronoun today. We have already seen the other rules, I believe, at least the subject and verb agreement before you look into the pronoun rule. Since so pronoun is very important, yes, but subject verb agreement sets the base. So you should usually, I would suggest that you should watch the subject verb agreement video before looking at the pronoun video today. Okay, so to begin with, so what is pronoun? We have, of course, everybody, all the students over here. We've studied pronoun when we were in school. Any word that replaces a noun. So if I were to say, Deepthi likes to play, Deepthi likes to play football, um, Deepthi is good at it, I'm repeating my name over and over. Instead, if I use she, Deepthi is a good player. She can play football very well. So if I'm using that she, that helps the sentence sound better. And the usage of pronoun is basically to refer back to the noun. Now, what is SAT test? So this is something simple we have studied in school in our first grade, second grade. So that's not what SAT is going to look into. SAT looks at what this, what you can see on screen right now, what all this is. Agreement, which means that if I'm talking about one person, I will use singular pronouns, something like subject verb agreement. So pronoun agreement, similar to that, says that a singular pronoun should refer to a singular noun. In subject verb agreement, we were doing singular subject refers to singular verb. Here we are looking at singular pronoun referring to singular noun and singular verb. So two things we will check here. Also, similarly, plural pronoun goes to plural subject and plural verb. So two things it goes to. Yes. For example, the sentence here says, Mary went to the store because they wanted ice cream. So who's this they? Now, as a spoken English person, I would probably say Mary went to the store because somebody probably was asking for ice cream. They mean some plural person. But that's not what we have to assume. We will not take any assumption in our pronoun rule or anywhere in the SAT. Yeah? Mary went to the store because she wanted ice cream. So we're going to look for she in this case. Okay. Looking at the second rule that SAT tests us on, ambiguity. Ambiguity, as the word itself means, is something that is not clear. Now, pronoun ambiguity means that the pronoun is not clear. So what do you mean by pronoun not clear? Something wherein you have multiple nouns and then the pronoun refers to, we assume, is the subject. So we assume that pronoun refers to subject. The pronoun rule never told us that no pronoun is anything that is used in place of subject. It always refers to noun. Now it can refer to any noun, not necessarily the subject noun. Yes. For example, let's look at this sentence. The cat is sitting on the chair. So we're talking about cat. Then it said it is black. Now our common sense will start thinking that we are trying to say that the cat is black. But this is pronoun ambiguity because it as a pronoun, as a singular pronoun, can refer to cat and it can refer to chair. Yeah. So we have two nouns in the sentence. So that means the chair can be black as well as the cat. In this part, in order to not have ambiguity, I'll have to remove the it and I'll have to write the cat is sitting on the chair, the cat is black, or the chair is black. I need the noun to be in this place. Yes, that is how we take care of pronoun ambiguity. Next rule is the antecedent, which means that I have this pronoun, I know that pronoun refers to noun, but it should refer it correct, in a correct way. Yes. Now, Jackson arrived late because traffic held them up. So, traffic held Jackson up. He's singular. So, we need to change it and make it him. Traffic held him up. Okay. So, we look into antecedent and agreement, almost the same. In agreement, I meant to tell you about that it should agree with not just the noun, it should also agree with the verb. And no matter what, you have to have a noun in order to mention a pronoun. A very common mistake that I've seen a lot of people make is introducing them as myself, so and so. So it's like if I come to you and say, "Hi, myself Deepti," that's absolutely incorrect, because myself is over here. It's a reflexive pronoun in the pronoun case, which means that you can only use it if you have the subject first. You have to first use the subject pronoun, or you should have a noun. Yes, in this case, instead of using a he, I'm saying Jackson arrived late because traffic held him up. So I'm saying him. Him is not the subject case pronoun. Okay, it's the object. So him up, because I was talking about Jackson, I've already used the subject case noun. Yes. So with antecedent, I'm also explaining you the pronoun case. But not pronoun case is not very often tested, but if it all SAT tests you on this, you should know about it. So what happens here is, if you look at the subject case, the pronouns that can be used as subject are I, you, one, and others. But you cannot use me as a subject. You cannot say me going to the zoo, me going for the movie. I mean, yeah, some non-native English speakers, they still use this, and that's why spoken English is not accepted as SAT writing grammar rule. So when you say I, it's a subject case pronoun. When you say one, you, it's a subject case pronoun. Subject case pronoun you and one remains same in object case. So if I have to say I go to the movie, I will go to the movie. I am using I as the subject. If I want to say me, I will say movie was seen by me. But in case of you, I will say you went for the movie. Movie was seen by you. So both the places, it's you. Possessive reflexive, again, it's not too much tested, but then the thing you have to know is you cannot use possessive and reflexive as the subject of the sentence. Okay, so you can never start a sentence with mine or myself. I mean, you can start, you cannot keep them as your subject in the sentence. Okay. All right, not a lot of detail here because you're not really going to be tested on pronoun case a lot. Okay, let's move further. Now, spot the error question. As the melon farmers drove their crops to the market, they were dismayed to find that they were infected with fruit flies. First thing first, any sentence you read, if it is not underlined, usually you will get sentences underlined. Yeah, so you don't have to read it this way. But here, because it's not underlined, let me read it to you once again. I'm going to read with all the pronouns highlighted in my mind. I'll say, oh, pronoun, let me ask my mind if it's correct or not. As the melon farmers drove their crops to the market, oh, there, okay, so their crops, whose crops? Melon farmers' crops, absolutely correct, keep it. They were dismayed, okay, they, another pronoun. So it looks that this they goes to farmers, right? But if you see with this there, farmers were the only noun in this sentence. But with this they, I have introduced another noun. So now I have crops and farmers, two more nouns here. That means this they is ambiguous. We don't know what is it referring to. No, so we cannot use this they. So we'd have to say, as the melon farmers drove their crops to the market, the farmers were dismayed to find that, now can I use they here? Are the farmers infected? No, the crops were infected. So we'll have to put the nouns in place of these two pronouns. Next question. The Commerce Department, which usually does not make any official announcement until after the budget is ratified, announced that their accounting practices would be over budget next year. Now, I would want you to pause this video and see if there is an error that you can find here before I tell you about the error. If you paused already and you have identified the error, very good. If not, then let's discuss. The Commerce Department, we are talking about one department. Now, a sentence or a phrase between two comma can usually be, it's a trick, can usually be ignored for the time and see if the next part of the sentence matches. Now, in this case, I'm only giving further description. Commerce Department, which does certain things it does. announced. So announced is the correct verb that is going back to Commerce Department. Commerce Department announced that their accounting practices. Whose accounting practice? Who's there? There is a plural pronoun, so it should go back to a plural noun. So where is that plural noun? Which I can't find anywhere. So since there is no plural noun, this there is incorrect. This is not the correct agreement, pronoun agreement. I need to replace it with something which is singular. So I need to put the it over here. The Commerce Department announced that its accounting practices would be over next year. Yeah. Next question. Now remember in the subject verb agreement video, if you have seen that earlier, I discussed something about neither and nor. If you've forgotten, in neither and nor we focus, when we look at the verb, we focus on whatever is after nor. Yeah? Let's look at this sentence if there's a verb error or something. Neither Alice nor Betty could figure out. So now because we have figured out and we have could, so we're not looking at singular plural. Next it says why they failed the exam. They failed the exam. Now, remember when you're talking about subject verb, we said that nor is what your subject would look like. So we're talking about Betty in this case. Neither Alice nor Betty could figure out why she failed the exam, because this is who I'm talking about. And also because now if you put the she over here, because you know the subject verb rule, the problem will be that she refers to Alice or to Betty. We won't know again. So we will write who failed the exam. Neither Alice nor Betty could figure out why ABC, anybody, Alice, Betty or somebody else, we will put the name failed the math exam. So a name is required, a noun is required in this case. Okay, that was for the error. Let's now do certain questions. So let's look at this one. The average weekly wage nearly doubled in the 1970s, rising from $114 to $220. Yet, the average worker ended the decade with a decrease in what their pay may buy. Okay, so look at the sentence, the underlined part, it has a there. The moment you see a there, a pronoun, ask yourself, what is this there going back to? If I would probably see a verb here, I'll say, okay, this is a verb, let me look for subject. But because I did not see a verb underlined, but I saw the pronoun underlined, I'll say, okay, let me find out where is this pronoun going to. Yes. So there is in this part, here we have they, here we have they. So if you see three of them have they, all plural. What is this plural thing referring to? What plural thing are we talking about in the sentence? Well, nothing. We said that the weekly wage nearly doubled in this year. So if we are talking about year, we don't have a they. We don't have a plural noun. Yet the average worker. So if you see, we have worker, one person, ended the decade with a decrease in purchasing power. We don't need they or there or anything. So ABC, all the three go out because worker is singular. So we don't need this plural pronoun. Okay, let's go to the next question. First one was easy. Yeah, I'm hoping that you're pausing the video, solving the question, then going further, as I always say in all the videos of mine. The United States Navy announced that beginning next year, they plan, somebody plural is planning. Let's see, year, beginning, announced, Navy, States. So is United States plural? Are we talking about United States? We're talking about Navy. Is the Navy plural? No, nothing is plural here. No, we didn't get anything plural, so the option is out. That means option A and B are easily out. Now we have C and D, because both of them are it, and it is what refers correctly to Navy. The United States Navy announced that beginning next year, it plans to close several of its bases or their bases. Now, because it is singular, it cannot have their bases. It has to be its bases. And that's why D is also incorrect and C is the answer. So the questions become very easy if you do not apply only your sound good approach and if you apply rules. Yes. All right. This is for today for pronouns, and let's look at the next few more videos of all the other rules and then become very strong on SAT and ace the test and get us all great score. All right. Good day for today.